Hi, and welcome to this next level conversation with my dear friend Amanda Kunkel. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Karina Ladet, and I'm a business mentor for intuitive and creative female entrepreneurs worldwide. And so, Amanda and I have been friends for a really long time. I just wanted to quickly mention that Amanda is now Universe Liaison, helping women delivering the direct path to seven figures for women business owners. And as much as I sometimes get sick of the buzz that is around seven figures, I know that Amanda is like the most genuine, heart-centered, amazing, super talented and powerful woman. And I love how you're really owning how powerful your psychic gifts are and your business knowledge. So welcome.
Thank you so much. And you're right. It's been, I think, 7 or 8 years that we've known each other.
Yeah, now, so long.
Like almost a decade.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, such a pleasure. I'm just quickly checking my phone in case someone is with us live, because if you have any questions and you want to ask Amanda anything, or you want to share any insights as we go through this beautiful, hopefully inspiring and powerful conversation about what it really takes to take our businesses to the next level. And I feel like, Amanda, you're such a great example of like having taken huge leaps and bounds in your business in the last couple of years. I know sometimes the change can be internal, and so it's not always visible, but for you, it's been spectacular. So I'd love for you to share a bit about your journey. Like, what were do you have one kind of next level leap that really stands out? That was really powerful for you.
It honestly was getting really sick and shutting everything down to the bare bones and the basics, because I couldn't necessarily show up for myself. So my business went from all the things, the hustle, the saying yes to everything and everyone, to being sick in bed for like 4 or 5 years. And during that time, really focusing on me. And so it was sort of like I guess like the phoenix rising up out of the ashes. At that point, it's either like, you get better and move in the direction that's going to keep you healthy, or you don't.
Yeah.
And during that time, I took a lot of time, and this is when I know I worked with you, Karina, when I was very first sick back then, investing in your, oh my gosh, now I forget what the program's name was.
Embrace Your Purpose.
Thank you. Sorry, like all the words just jumble in my head. Yeah. And that was a 6-month program. And so I really was allowing myself to be nourished and to be held by other people, instead of being the one that was always giving, always hustling, always saying yes to everybody else. And that was really like the first step, was identifying what wasn't working, what I needed beyond what other people out there were telling me was possible or not possible. So you hear that from other well-meaning women business owners, even mentors, right? Because we all have our own way that works really, really, really well for us. Right? It's just based on our personal needs. So I really had to boil everything down. And at the time that I started regaining my health, I moved to an area that I absolutely hated. That's a very strong word. I usually don't use that strong of a word about an area, but it was a complete mismatch for me. Mm-hmm. And so as I was regaining my health, it was, well, I can sit here and put up with it, or I can continue along the way of what do I need, what works well for me. And I had to say no a lot. No to, no to the people around me, no to the borough, no to the neighbors, and the wonderful thing was, it's allowed me, as I was getting healthier, to really say, okay, well, since I'm saying no to these things, that also shows me where my yes is, without having to sit and think about it. And so as I was creating this is the old paradigm, this is the falling away, this is what led to sickness, this what didn't work, was obviously things like the hustle for me.
Yeah.
And as I regained my health and I was saying no to everybody, I got a very clear guidance to actually hire a business coach. And I had never hired a specific for online business coach before. Yeah. And that was honestly like one of the major turning points that I could see financially in my business, because almost immediately we narrowed in some of the weaker parts that I hadn't even identified, right? When you have somebody else that is like a pro in online businesses and pro in the kind of spiritual business. I always say I'm not a coach. Like, I'm not a spiritual coach. I'm not a psychic coach. I'm not a business coach. But because of the way the universe moves through me for business women, that's obviously things that I can comment on and separate out. Okay, here's what the universe is saying. Here's what Amanda, the businesswoman, says. Here's what Amanda, the like normal person on the street, would say. And I make sure that's very clear, right? Because I'm specifically not a business coach. So receiving that coaching for myself, it was mind blowing. And that's when my new norm became tripling my income. So my baseline was reset, and my nervous system and all of, the beautiful ego brains we have was just like, oh, this is the new normal, all good. And I didn't have to do it in a hustle or a pushy way. And I really, one of the practical things I learned for me, which by the way, not everyone needs to learn this. It was like something that I needed to do, was the copywriting piece, because I had come out of university. And granted, it's been a hot minute since I graduated college, but my writing was based around writing research papers. So, and being dyslexic, I very much like grabbed to that because it was something that I knew how to do. And I remember one of the first things my business coach was like, okay, people aren't getting what you're writing online because it's written very analytical. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do, right? So I got to dive into untangling something that was very actually painful for me. There was a lot of times sitting at the computer just not understanding how to compute what I was getting from the universe down into the written word because of the dyslexia. I can sit and explain it. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we're here, you can have that heart-to-heart moment where when somebody's reading something on an email or a social media post, it has to be pretty clear. And so that's where the wording of what I do came from. So Universe Liaison, actually the universe delivered that one. And the path to seven figures came from what is the clearest, most pinny pointy thing that I can say to people that they'll kind of understand where we dive into, where the universe really leans into. Mm-hmm. So that was where that snapshot came from. We really lean into allowing, receiving, bringing in the abundance, listening to your own intuition. And of course, when you do that, it's actually, you can receive however amount you desire at that point. Yeah. So yeah, that was a lot there, but the biggest for me was first shutting everything down that didn't work, saying no to everything that didn't work, hiring a business coach. And if you notice along this whole path, I didn't say, oh, I had to hire somebody to mentor me in my expertise. So you probably had this experience, Karina, and many of you listening have probably had this experience. It's like, you are the expert in what you know. Yeah. To make a business work, you don't need more of what you are an already expert in. Sure, getting personal support is amazing and fabulous to receive, but getting the nuts and bolts of how to, in alignment with what feels good to you and your setup and what your yes is for your life and your health, that's what somebody who does more of the business end, or obviously if you're not in business, if you're in a, you go into business, right? Like hire that mentor, because you can accidentally spend a lot of time spinning your wheels
Yeah.
Because you just don't know what you don't know. And it's so great to just admit that, because you're not an expert in that area. So it's like, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. And that's such a great point, because I find that sometimes, because a lot of my clients are intuitives and creatives, and I've done this myself, is that we keep learning more about our craft, which is, of course, important, but it's not the only aspect of doing business. And I think it's great how you pointed out how certain aspects of doing business are really important to learn, because otherwise we're just doing what we already know. And I think that can only take us so far. Doesn't mean using our intuition or following our guidance or writing as it comes doesn't work. It's just, it's not the only thing that we need to have a successful business. So taking, yeah, like getting help to do the copywriting, create, I don't know, amazing professional videos. All these things are super important. And it doesn't mean forget all about your own style and do it this way. It just means use these tools and use your intuition so that people can really get what it is that you're saying. Because it's so frustrating to keep sharing things and feeling like no one's listening, or that our people can't quite find us. And I think that is really helpful when we have support from a business coach or a program or other parts of the business building, so that can actually help us share our gifts in a much more powerful and clear way, so that our people can find us and we can work with them, right?
Exactly. And to not be afraid of it. There's I believe it's only 1% of female business owners cross over the 6-figure line. And I remember when I first did, I was like, first of all, like, woohoo, celebration, like, let's go party. But then there was also the, like, I get why, because it can feel like such a hurdle. The good news is, and I'm not sure if you've noticed this too, Karina, but like 7 years ago, the way of doing business, it was very, very masculine. It was like, get the click funnels, get the webinars, do the, hour-long sales calls. And I tried that, and it was the most exhausting, money draining thing. And I was just like, no. And for a while, it didn't look elsewhere. I personally got sick, but I know that a lot of other people, it's just like, you kind of feel shut down. Well, this didn't work. This doesn't feel right for me. Where now there's so many other options out there, and things that are very feminine or somewhere in between. You could be high tech, low touch, high tech, like, or high touch, low tech. Yeah. It's just one of those, keep looking. It's the don't give up until you, it's not until you find something that fits, but don't give up. Let yourself welcome in something that fits, and say no to the things that don't fit, because they're out there. That's really the only, I'm going to use quotes here, thing keeping women away from that first coveted 6-figure mark.
Yeah.
At least, but in my little humble opinion, I will say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's super important to look, because there is so much to choose from now. And yeah, that can be overwhelming, but it's also amazing that we have so many opportunities and so many different ways of doing business now. Because it's true that before it just took a lot more hard work, and it wasn't as easy to get access. The tools online weren't as easy as they are now. So, I mean, it's such a great time to start and develop your own business, I feel, right now. And what do you feel, what were your like biggest challenges taking your business to that next level, to like really being a successful entrepreneur, apart from saying no, which I personally think is awful, but I know it's part of the work?
The thing between my ears, my brain. So my ego fought a lot. It very much did not want to give up on the old way, and very much replayed old stories of, well, others can receive, but you can't. Others can deserve, but you can't. Others can. And so the beautiful work, I worked for a couple of months with a mindset coach who helped me just rewire all of that. I definitely feel the abuse that I went through in young childhood, like, connected my neurons in a fashion that is not normal. So most people don't have that, that extra hurdle, but it doesn't mean that their brain doesn't fight them. Their brain still does fight them. So I want to let you know that, like, if I can rewire my brain, you can rewire your brain too. And then not being in the hustle, not being in control, not pulling another lever to try to get something to work or to make a sale or to open a new thing. Or it was really for me, once I could release into the universe and into my God and let the universe hold me, let the masculine hold me, that this thing really started to quiet down. So we got the neurons going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And then we got this to really stop and just go, oh, it doesn't mean it doesn't pop up, right? There's new level, same devil.
Yeah.
But
no,
it's
for
just
sure.
not as hard. It's not as bad. It's a little bit more sneaky sometimes, but it's also oh, that's all this is. Okay, I've done this before.
Yeah.
Right? I can see this as not just survivable, but thrivable. And when I'm thrivable, I get to help so many more people.
Yeah. And you're just enjoying everything so much more, right? Because I think that one of the biggest struggles I see in so many of my friends and myself as well, like when you're a healer or an intuitive or creative or a sensitive person, or like someone who really likes to help other people, is that that's your greatest gift, but it's also your greatest challenge, because it means saying no a lot and not doing the things you've always done. And for me, it was kind of like dying, like, who am I if I can't do that or be like this? But when I identified that it was just, I guess, a coping mechanism, really, because you can be genuinely kind and generous without constantly overgiving and giving to everyone and in every situation without like considering yourself, your own energy and what you need. And I think that's why it's so interesting that you had like health problems and then you had to like really cut back, because I find that so many women actually wait until they can't do more until they stop. And it's always great if we can like listen before we push ourselves so hard. But I guess it's also part of the journey, isn't it? Trying things on and seeing what works for us and what doesn't. And I still think that that's like an underlying thing that a lot of female business owners, especially intuitive ones, have, like the overgiving and overdoing and being there for everyone. And that makes it a bit difficult to be focused enough on the things that really matter in business, rather than just like being nice and being everywhere and doing everything.
Yes. And, ironically, when we kind of work through the stuff that triggers us on the business nuts and bolts, it gets pretty freaking easy after that. Like, I don't kick myself if I know I have to sit down and write copy. In fact, the universe just usually flows it through me. And like when I'm taking the shower on a horse or something, and then I like, voice to text it, put it in my email, and then come back to it, right? Where before it was like I would have to sit for hours and drool over it. And that's one of the wonderful things I personally found about saying no all the time to others was the universe gives so much juicy content in shifts in teeny little bites. It's like the most packed protein bar ever. And so the same goes for me. Like, I can do that for my clients and I can share that for my clients in teeny little bits. Like, I would rather have 30 clients a year than 200.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, it's at a higher price point, not for any other reason than for me to receive what I need to pass on these teeny little bites so that the person receives them and gets all of that at once instead of a watered down version of the universe and or I over a year or whatever it would be to allow the shift to happen. I'm like, no, life's literally too short for that. I've had a lot of death in my family in the last decade. And it's like, no, like I need to be out there on my horse. You need to be out there doing whatever your horse equivalent is.
Yeah. So true. And you have come such a long way, Amanda, because I know you've been through so much. And sometimes it's hard to believe that when we see someone who looks as, who thrives as much as you do, who looks so healthy and happy and like you're really doing the things you love and things are going really well, but you've really come a long way. And I think it's really amazing that capacity to move through things and change things. And like you said, like changing how you write or changing how you show up and changing habits in your life. Because at first it feels like going against what's natural and it feels awkward and weird and our minds are going, what, this is not me, and all that stuff. But then when you do take, like when that habit becomes a new habit, then that becomes your new natural way of being. And then you can channel information and energies into that form so that your people can really receive in the best possible way. And it doesn't feel like it's not you, because it is. It's just, I guess, changing the container or changing the form for how you show up. And I think that's just so, yeah. And that's, I guess, like bringing different skills together as well. Because often we grow intuitively and creatively, but if we don't grow our business skills as much, it's just, we can't go as far.
Yes. Yes. And the wonderful thing about, you'll hear from business coaches, like make the commitment, draw the line in the sand, right? Like there is nothing else. And what I found was to get from, and Karina knows like the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I was her client as I was going through, like there were some days that I was just a sobbing puddle on the floor, like literally. And to get from there to here wasn't just one choice of drawing the line in the sand. It was like a daily drawing the line in the sand. And sure, there were days that it didn't happen. There were weeks that it didn't happen. But it was like, okay, don't beat yourself up. Come back around and draw the line in the sand again and again and again. So it's a lot like practice, right? We learned that when we were kids. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And it's the same for, at least for me, it was the magic behind it wasn't just that one time, it was again and again. Feel the feels, right? Don't go into like the toxic positivity, but
yeah,
you come back around, take a deep breath again. I mean, it's like with me for horseback riding, I have fallen off or been bucked off or had a concussion so many times, and I've been scared to get back on. And I have, yes, I've been all sorts of in between, but I still do it because of how much I love that feeling when I am with the horse, right? So on the days that it feels really hard to draw the line in the sand again, touch in with yourself. Is this really a day that I just need to like go and watch Netflix in bed? Like, that's okay. As long as it's not every day, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Yes, it is. All right. Well, then I'll do that because I am remembering how it feels and where my desire is, how committed I am to allowing that into my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Like, I think it's good to be kind and gentle with ourselves, but it's good not to get stuck in that, because we still need to move through whatever's coming up, because otherwise we'll stay too comfortable, right? And we just stay in that cocoon. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I find it super frustrating when I realize that I haven't really made progress, or that it's like tiny progress, but I feel that there's something that I really need to move through and fully embrace and then release and then move to the other side, because otherwise I'm just going to keep bumping into the same things over and over.
Yes. And that's one of the things when women lean into working with the universe and I, because really it's not me. Like it is, I create the space for the universe and the businesswoman to come together and do the work together. Right. They made this map of what she wanted to achieve and what her desires were before she was born. And so I can come in and pass on, like relay the information, help decipher the information. Like I said earlier, give some, okay, here as a business owner has been what I have seen out of myself or other clients that have come across this, like, but I make sure to separate that out. So it's not sounding like the universe is saying this. I'm like, here you go. We obviously can ask the universe, but it happens around that time where they're like, I feel it's time to take a step. I'm slightly triggered. I don't want to do it. I'm slightly scared.
Yeah.
And I'm slightly excited at the same time. Like if that is your combination, it's like the universe is like, oh, she's ready.
Yeah. Perfect combo.
Right. And the wonderful way that the universe has worked to and through me, and I know you have this fabulous component as well, is the receiving the information from the universe, but then supporting with the energetic component of it, right? Because it's not just one or the other. There's so many things that can go into, right? The world isn't just black and white. There's every shade in between. So of course, show is the shifting and the support and the progress and all of that. And so personally, I think that's one of the things that I get the most giddy about talking about the universe, is not just those teeny little bite-sized pieces that's like the best protein bar you've ever had. Yeah. Can give you everything in one small bite. But then you see the shifts continue because of that energetic work.
Yeah. So powerful and deep, right? Because then it kind of radiates out into everything, not just business, but also your life and all areas in our relationships. And I guess that's also one of the amazing things when you work in a holistic way, is that it's not just in your business, not just to succeed or just to make money or work with X amount of clients, but also to really be super happy doing what you love, to feel fulfilled on purpose, and all the healing that takes place, I think, also in every area of our lives.
Exactly. And you, by the way, have the most amazing energetic support. I loved when, was it the Embrace Your Purpose, the very first group when we came back together? Was it earlier this year? Was it last year?
I think it was at the end of the summer, wasn't it? It was amazing. Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, but to feel, because that was what, 6 years ago?
6 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Because there you had that beautiful energetic component too, because you had the meditations and to see how each of us over that 6-year period still grew, even though the program had technically ended, right? Yeah. The container of the energy and its movement to and through us was still going on because we were still a yes to it.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Amanda. And that's one of the things that I love about what I create. I feel like it's like something that's way beyond like what I do. And I feel that too. Like, I feel like whatever we create together, it just keeps nurturing us, like thinking back to certain things, seeing certain things, and as if we keep receiving year after year, because there's so much depth to it. And it's really genuine as well. Like the connections are genuine, the love and the support is genuine, and then all the different levels. And I guess that's the difference with energy work too, right? Like it goes so deep and it goes beyond time and space as well. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I would love to, well, first of all, I wanted to share that since creating my Embrace Your Purpose program, that it was also something that Amanda received a download about and dreamt about. And that's one of the reasons why I created it, because I've been feeling for a long time that there was something about business, but I really didn't feel like I was qualified enough to teach about business, because it was right at the beginning of my business and I was mainly doing intuitive work. And then Amanda says, I had this dream, Karina, you have to do this. And I was like, okay, shit, I have to do it now. And so I ended up launching the program, and Amanda signed up and these amazing women signed up. And it was just this incredible and magical experience. And that was actually one of my kind of next level leaps, going from shorter groups, not as expensive group programs and coachings, to like something a little bit more expensive and 6 months. And it was just, I had to grow so freaking much to create that program. And it was just the most amazing experience. And I feel like that next level that I stepped into was also what everyone else in the group was like stepping into. And it was so beautiful that we could support each other on that journey. And so for a while now, I've been feeling that I want to offer something like the next step from that. And a lot of my clients have asked about it as well. So this year I am created a brand new program. It's called the Next Level Program. Duh. And it starts October 28th. And it's exactly what we talked about, Amanda, about how it's also important to bring more of the business building aspects into our business, because I do a lot of energy work and I love like space holding and the love and the support and the intuitive stuff. But what I noticed was for me and for my clients is that we also need to like, know how to write copy, how to create videos that are really professional and look amazing, and where our message is really clear. I mean, there's so many, having structures and like systems in place so we don't spend all our time kind of, doing the same thing over and over, or spending time not doing things that we like doing things we shouldn't be doing, really. So I'm actually inviting in more of the business building aspects into this program. And of course, there will also be energy work, obviously, but not only. So it feels like even more powerful, and like it's really going to create a super strong foundation for anyone who wants to take their business to the next level. So I've got some links above this video. If you're curious, check it out. If you have any questions, let me know. And there's also a free next level training going on right now that will be available until October 27th. So sign up if you're interested and get a sneak peek into what my group experiences are like. And Amanda, I'd love for you to share a bit about how people can work with you if they're curious to discover more about the work that you do and how you support your clients.
Yes. Well, thank you. I am the most active on my personal Facebook page. So please feel free to come over and friend and follow me. Keep it simple. I love it. I have a Facebook page. I'm going to use it. And also this week, so this is the week of October 11th, I am releasing to the public. And it was actually funny when Karina said, "Oh, I'd love you to talk about this." And I was like, "Oh, actually, this is perfect timing because I planned this for today," which is releasing what I call the one-off session. So I typically don't have people book the one-offs with me, meaning you're not coming into a program. It's a 90-minute you in the universe, getting the direct download of the basic who, what, where, when, and how to reach that next level, and then the support. And the reason I typically don't open it, it's because it's really intense. Which I don't mean to scare anyone off with that. There's like a little vetting process that I do talk to people just to make sure that they're ready for the intensity, because the universe is intense. It's not mean, it's not pushy. It is simply an intense process. So I'm opening that up at a special investment this week to 5 individuals. So please send me a PM on Facebook if you're interested. This actually, it's kind of funny. Now I'm laughing. It would actually go very nicely with Karina's program because she has the other support on it. And this is just the universe going, we're going to take your GPS. We're going to recorrect you a little bit here back to the map that we created together before you were born. We're going to show you a couple things to do here, really get you pinpointed in that direction. We're going to give you the universe support in this very powerful but bite-sized piece that's going to continue on throughout the next days and weeks and months.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Amanda. I'm sure your sessions are amazing. You've shared a lot of advice and guidance with me over the years, and it's always like super on point and powerful and like spot on. So I highly recommend Amanda's work and everything that she does. So I'll post about that under the video as well. So if you're interested, get in touch with Amanda. And if you feel the call, book a session with her, because it's so worth it. Thank you so much, Amanda, for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure. And thank you to everyone watching this. If you have any questions, if you want to ask us anything, you want to share anything that came up as you're listening to us, please do in the comments and we'll answer you and get back to you as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing this moment with me. I'm so glad that you're here.